5246.
What is up? It's Tuesday. I like these 4-day work weeks. We got to get more of these. Big fan of them.
Thought it was a Friday. You just wrecked my day.
I'm sorry. Sorry, man. Sorry, brother. It is a gorgeous and rainy. Going to be rainy for the next. It's going to be weird this week. Lots of clouds, lots of rain. It's going to be a little ugly. Is what it is. Although I will say this morning, took the dogs out. They were not thrilled by my dogs got to the point where you walk out into the dog park. They stuck their head out. Started to rain on them. They took 1 foot inside, peed, turned around and came back. They want no part of the rain. Zero part of the rain. Hope you guys had a good weekend. 3-day weekends. We need more of these. It's what God wants for all of us, I think. Absolutely. So you guys heard Jay's newscast. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Southern California, Orange County, there's an issue with some chemicals.
In California? They have problems?
They do. So
I wonder where.
Friday, my uncle, he sends me a picture. Oh, he goes, oh, dude, it's just right there. It's across the street. I don't know. He goes, I think there was a shooting or something that happened. And I mean, it's maybe 200 yards, 300 yards away from, and he's like, I don't know.
What kind of chemicals is it?
They make airplane parts, but it's like Bhopal kind of stuff if it went sideways.
Oh, wow.
So he goes, then he texts me back, goes, no, they're telling us we have to leave for a while. He goes, we're going to Palm Springs. They're still evacuated. My mom was evacuated for a day. She never bothered to tell me.
Did she actually leave for a day?
Yeah, they go for a day or two. They said now it's all going to be fine. So, but I was just laughing. That's my family. Perfect in a nutshell family. Yeah, nah. Oh yeah, it's no big deal. I forgot to tell you. Yeah, we were evacuated. We're good. That thing was. They don't think it's going to explode, but they're still worried. At one time, there was 60,000 people that had to be mandatory evacuation. It's a lot of folks. A lot of folks indeed. I watched no news this weekend. I didn't want to know. I didn't care to know. I said to myself, if something crazy happens that is a need to know, somebody else will contact me. Because my wife, as you guys know, she's getting ready to leave next week. They're going to go help Grandma out for a little while back in Arizona before we move into our house in October and out here. And so they're going to come back and forth. So they're getting ready to take off. So we packed all weekend. And up until yesterday, I hadn't even checked to see what was going on. Because it was nice not to pay attention. And I get alerts on my phone, but I just scroll past them because I don't need them. But I just knew, and then when people said, Chad, what do you think of the deal? I said, what deal? Oh, they got a deal done. I said, they didn't get a deal done. They haven't got a deal done because I would have heard from several of my people that we got a deal done. And the thing is, there's no deal to be done. That's just it.
They had an agreement to talk about getting something together.
Yes. We had an agreement to talk about an agreement, or there may be a letter and memorandum of understanding of us getting something together to maybe down the road. The only thing we have to work out is how you can have no control over the Straits of Hormuz, and you got to give us all your nuclear stuff. Oh, and by the way, all of these countries who their leaders want to do business with Israel and don't want to fight with them, but their people don't. They got to sign this. And then we're good to go. Yeah, that's not going to happen. It isn't. It isn't. Not right now. Because both of them are going to stare at each other for a while. And I know Trump now is going to meet on Wednesday, tomorrow. It's weird. I keep thinking it's a couple days from now. Camp David, get together because there are decisions that need to be made sooner rather than later. Obviously, the big thing is the nukes. Like, what are we going to do with the nukes? What are we going to do with the material?
President Trump again taking social media, saying Iran's enriched uranium will either be turned over to the U.S. or to a third party and destroyed. But I have to say, Iran has repeatedly ruled out concessions on its nuclear program. And today, Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei saying on his Telegram channel, the Gulf powers will no longer be a shield for U.S. bases and the U.S. will no longer have a safe haven in the region.
Mm-hmm. That's it. It's not just about the oil money. It's about the fact that you're not going to be able to build here. You're not going to be able to stay here anymore. We're going to make it so uncomfortable for you here in the Middle East, in these parts, that this is what we're going to do. Now, all of this is words. Both sides, they throw stuff out there, as we know. They're just as you know, they're just as hyperbolic as Trump. But they also read what's going on. And this weekend, they saw that there was potentially some progress being made. And they saw everybody do what? The war hawks, the neocons, do what? Oh, man, we can't do this to Israel. There's no way we could do this. We can't leave Israel hanging. No. And then you've got the Israelis up in arms about it, nervous, the powers that be. And what happens then? Then Khomeini comes out and says, yeah, they won't be there in 50 years. Didn't say what was going to happen. They just Israel won't be there. Because they want to drag this on too. That's their goal. They feel like they can drag this on longer and longer. They're going to get a W in some way, shape, or form. And it's going to force Trump to do something, either capitulate or go big. But how big? And while that's going on, what is Bibi doing? Bibi's, he is, because Trump said in this thing, Lebanon is part of it. And what are they doing? They're attacking and they're expanding in Lebanon. So there's a lot that's going on. And I thought the funniest thing of the weekend is you can't control the Straits of Hormuz. You can't charge tolls. They're like, we're not charging tolls. We're charging an environmental fee, which I thought was hilarious.
Was that a Supreme Court ruling? It's not a fine, it's a tax.
It's basically what it is. It's an environmental fee. It's the little girl that says, how dare you? Right? Like, she's all about this. We're going to save the seal things, whatever's out there. We're saving it. And it'll cost you up to $2 million per environmental fee.
Because we're serious about these environmental problems.
Yeah. We've been talking to people like Greenpeace. They're like all about it. They're like, we're going to let them travel for free because we know they're here to help. So I don't think anything's going to happen next couple of days. Not saying there couldn't be some potential tit for tat. It's always a possibility. But the reality is, at this moment in time, this is kind of what it is. They're going to stare at each other. They're both going to go back and forth on social media. They're both going to try to figure out how they can weaken the other. And probably at some point in time, some more defensive strikes. I think today they said they went after and hit those boats because they were laying mines. Good. They're laying mines. Go get them. They're not going to stop doing what they're doing, so we shouldn't stop there. They said it was all defensive. Okay. And go from there. But you're not. Here's the problem is, what are we going to do? We're going to eviscerate them? I know a lot of you out there is like, yes, should totally. No, we're not going to eviscerate them because we don't be the prize of the world. And at some point in time, our friends supposedly in the Gulf are going to go, yeah, this isn't going to work for us. You killing tens of thousands of people isn't going to work for us. Not from here. Because we're going to hear. Because remember, you know what they're terrified of? Their own people. At some point in time saying, all right, there's, 15 million of us and not enough of you. And we're going to overthrow you. That's what they're. And Qatar, close, UAE, all of them have had issues in the last several months prior to this, holding on to some power, especially the UAE, is holding on to some power. And it could go sideways. And they don't want that. Totally understandable. Because the last thing you want to do is be hung. Or whatever they would do. So that's where we are today. I don't think anything's going to change the next 24 to 48 hours. I think Trump's going to go have his meeting. They'll come up with something. Hopefully, they'll come back with, at what point do you say, all right, this is the best we're going to do? It's a bad situation. And, fish or cut bait. We're cutting bait. We're moving on. Time to get on to something else. Because as quick as oil collapsed, slowly but surely, through the rest of the day, it came back. And it could go up and down, as we know, but the damage being done to the strategic oil reserves is massive. We've drawn down a ton. And we can't be in that situation much longer. It's better to go from 90 to 10 than 10% down to 0. We can't afford that. So that's where we are at this moment in time. So we'll see. We'll play it by, as it comes. And God willing, we get out of this thing. I would love to see them turn everything over and to just say, we're out. We're done. We're absolutely done. We quit. We want no part of this. We want other people to take this place over. Be kind to it's not on the cards. It isn't. That isn't on the cards at all. A lot of stuff to get to today. Primary day in Texas. And it's very interesting because you've got this weird situation where you've got the old kind of steady, boring, votes with Trump 99% of the time, but he's not MAGA guy. Then you've got Ken Paxton, who hates weed, tells everybody what a Christian he is and lives behind the Bible. And while he's behind that Bible, he seems to be smashing other ladies. His wife wasn't thrilled by that.
He's probably smoking a little weed back there, too.
Probably. Somebody said, I was saying today, he needs like 2 or 3 valets for the baggage he has. He's got to get those big things that you get, when they pull up. Hey, go get that thing, that little trolley cart. Yeah. Hold on, I'm going to put my hypocrisy on this one.
He's probably paying off his valet with expense money from being a House representative.
Oh, yeah. If he was the AG and somehow stuff happened when he was the AG, it's crazy. It is crazy. But that's going to be an interesting thing because the amount of money that's going to pour in to Texas is huge, just like we've seen it elsewhere. But this could be $100+ million plus for a Senate seat, which is insane. It is insane. My God. All right, coming up. Traveled this weekend. Hope you guys traveled. I did not, and for good reason, because it's silly.
I traveled in my mind.
You did. He did not. He just tells. I get into. He's like, dude, people woke me up this weekend. It pissed me off.
I was having so much good sleep. And of course, there has to be a phone call and that loud ringing just as I'm dozing into a really great, weird dream.
That's good because you're taking that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, popping that stuff. You see where we're going with this one?
Getting addicted to the Tonys.
Getting addicted to the Tonys, guys. Don't get addicted to the Tonys. But other good stuff on the way as well, including Bell doing sports. A little Hot Take Tuesday straight ahead as well. Hope you guys got some hot takes. You guys know the rules are non-political. Just have fun with them. Chad Bench Show, Super Talk 99.7.
Trust, information fueled, opinion driven. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Omaha Steaks right now. Father's Day coming up. Big sale going on up to 50% off site-wide. On top of that, you can save $35 off when you use my code, Benson. They've got all these great packages for Dad. Now, you could give Dad a tie, which is silly, and he doesn't want one because he doesn't wear one, right? You could do some. You can get him a card and a gift certificate because you don't care, one of those little gift cards. Or you can give Dad something that you can enjoy as well. that can make memories, and that's Omaha Steaks, the best in steaks. That's what Dad wants. Dad's a carnivore. He wants it that way. Give it to him. He'll grill it up for you. Everybody can make memories. 50% off site-wide, whether that's the fillets, the seafood, whether you want the amazing burgers and dogs, you name it, they've got it all. 100% unconditional, money-back guaranteed, bite for bite. Dads will absolutely love it. Plus, you're going to save 35% off when you use my code Benson. So go to omahasteaks.com. Use code Benson, omahasteaks.com. Code Benson saves you $35. Terms apply. See site for details.
Still no real clarity on the status of U.S.-Iran peace talks. We'll have the latest. Also, Facebook's parent company facing another legal battle. We'll have those stories and more coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Every single Tuesday, it's a little hot take as we drop it like it's hot. You guys know that. Hot take, hot take, hot take Tuesday. Hot take. 8717 says hot take. People who drive 10 miles an hour under the speed limit or do not use turn signals should have to retake their driver's test.
No. It should just be it should be legal just to shoot them.
That's a little bit much. Somebody's going to hear that
it's
today,
not.
and then we're going to get called into a meeting. Is this for what I said? Probably. Totally understandable. I get that. It drives us all crazy when people drive slow. And, Belle, you've mentioned it. The slow lane is the right lane. That's the slow lane. Everything else is for regular going speed people. Then as it gets further left, it's for faster people.
And the simple, easy thing about it, the thing that makes it just no problem, is you don't have to stop what you're doing. You just have to get the hell out of my way.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Just, it's like the old, what was it, MTV Cribs? You guys don't have to go home. You just have to get out of my house. It's the same thing. You guys don't have to worry about anything. You just have to get away from me. Get your butt over there. All right, Belle, what do you have for us today?
If you care about something more than the person who assigned it to you, there's a problem.
Oh, yes. I get where you're going with that. That is so true. I can't make you care, and I've seen that. We've all worked with somebody, right? Like they give you stuff and they don't really care enough about it, but it's like their thing. And then you're doing it, and it's just, it's frustrating. I've been there.
I had a teacher that was like that. She would assign certain amounts of homework, and you got to do your homework, but then you come back and you have questions. And she's like, why are you bothering me with this?
Because you gave it to me.
Yeah.
That's why. You gave it to me. My hot take, I love movies. And as a kid growing up, one of my other things, I always wanted to be a movie trailer guy, and I was fortunate enough to do some movie trailers. I have friends who work at the trailer park back in the day.
What's the biggest trailer you've ever done?
I did some Disney stuff, like Tonight on Disney. It's like one of those kind of, oh boy, kind of stuff.
Did they let you do the Mickey Mouse voice?
No, they don't. They won't let me do anything anymore now that I do talk radio. They don't let me do anything. But somewhere along the line, trailers went from going and taking stuff, because a lot of trailers back in the day, the trailer park guys who are the biggest in the business, they would get a whole bunch of stuff that would be up on the cutting room floor, and they would throw it into the movie trailer to get you excited. Now, movie trailers tell you everything. I don't need to see the movie. I know what the movie is.
Well, and they've also gotten worse about taking stuff that's on the cutting room floor and putting it back into the trailer, because you get to the theater, you watch the movie, you're like, where the hell did that scene go? Where's this one?
How many times have you been to a movie and go, wait a minute, I thought that was, wasn't that in a movie? Where's that thing? That's why I came to see it. Well, that lured you in. Now I know everything.
Now they actually shoot additional content for the movie that they know they're not going to use.
Which is but I want a bit of mystery, and it's not that anymore. And part of that mystery used to be the fact that you had voiceover guys like Don LaFontaine and all these guys that would come and they would do a portion of it where they could just show somebody's face or something, and that voice would tell you something, but not too much. Now, like you were talking about Obsession, you know what the movie is.
Yeah, it's just they either do too little or they do too much, to where you don't, if they do too little, you don't get enough to really make a decision if it looks like something you want to go see.
Yeah.
Or they just go, this is what this is about. Here's the synopsis, read that, and if you want to come see it, feel free.
Yeah, it's crazy. In a world, that's right. Let's see here. Chad, it's funny how we look at speed limit targets, right? It's the limit, not the minimum. There you go. Left lane is for turning, so back off. That must be for you, Bell. If you waited a green light to make a right-hand turn from a red light, you're stupid. Left lane loafers. Oh, let's see here. Here's one from 3686. Hot take. People say hung instead of hanged when it's about a human. Oh, my goodness me. Just crazy. If you get passed.
Well, what's the proper use of hanged? Which is it?
Well, I guess he was hanged, but you can say he was hung from that tree.
Okay.
Let's see. If you're going to hang, I guess, you don't say, I guess you could say, Bell hanged him.
So
right? Bell didn't hung him, Bell hanged him. But if I'm pointing at it and saying that person was hung from that tree, which again, this is kind of twisted.
Yeah, well, we don't run into that many people we see that are hanging dead.
No, we don't. Although that's weird, because I was watching you know what I started watching yesterday? Man in the High Castle.
Is that guy Gandolfini in it?
No. It's set right after World War II.
Oh, and the Nazis won?
And so did Japan. So half the countries, the Pacific states of America, whatever, and the other half is like the Reich, whatever. And it's really interesting, but somebody was hanged or hung in there last night. Just letting you guys, amen, Chad. I feel like I got a lot worse about the time of Iron Man 3. It's so true, man. They just put everything in those damn things now. Everything.
If it's not going to be in the movie, it shouldn't be in the damn trailer.
Yeah. Well, and nowadays you don't have to worry about that because you've got, and the problem is with that is, and my buddies used to tell me, we will go and use stuff that's given to us. And the issue is they would love the trailer, but they may not use that. The director may come back and go, I'm not going to use that part.
Yeah, I mean, it could be cut from the film after the fact.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit different than intentionally shooting coverage and, extra stuff that you have no intention of putting in the movie.
No intention. Zero. But it was a big explosion, and that'll drag people in, and that's what people like. All right, coming up, talk a little bit more about Iran, what's going on in Texas, a bunch of other stuff. Bill's got his sports as well. If you're missing the show me to grab the podcast. Chat Bench Super Talk 99.7.
32 minutes past 12 p.m. I'm Jay Harper with your top story as the weather forecast is coming up. No real clarity on the status of U.S.-Iran peace talks and reopening the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump announcing progress as the U.S. launches what it calls defensive airstrikes against Iran yesterday. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis, she's at a Manhattan gas station and talking about how prices at the pump are responding to all this.
In 6 states now, there are prices below $4 a gallon. Those states include Indiana, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas. But while oil prices have dropped, it's going to take a minute to flow through to prices at the pump. And in fact, we really need to see more clarity with the Strait of Hormuz reopened for investors to feel a sense of confidence that prices will continue to trend lower.
Meta facing another legal battle over the design of its social media platforms. ABC's Mike Dubusky reports.
Vermont is allowed to move ahead with its lawsuit against Meta, which claims the company intentionally designed its platforms to be addictive to young people. Meta had been arguing Vermont doesn't have the jurisdiction, but the Supreme Court is refusing to hear the company's appeal of a lower court's decision. It's the latest in a series of legal battles Meta is fighting over whether it knowingly harms children by including features like the endless scroll on Facebook and beauty filters on Instagram.
Outcomes in many recent cases have been unfavorable to the tech companies, including a $375 million civil judgment in March against Meta in the state of New Mexico. Here in the state of Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, to be more specific, a multi-agency investigation involving federal law enforcement took place this morning at a house in Whites Creek. Officers from the Lebanon Police Department and the Federal Bureau of Investigation were seen at approximately 6 o'clock this morning at a residence on Clarksville Highway. At least 4 people were seen outside the home in handcuffs with tactical officers. A Lebanon police spokesperson confirmed the department was working with the FBI to carry out a search warrant at the Davidson County residence. No other information has been released at this time. This is still a developing story. That's the latest news. We've got weather on the way. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
All right, guys, the Wellness Institute in Nashville is awesome. Painisbad.com or call 615-246-5009 because pain is bad. You don't want it. You want to get away from it. Right now, the Epic Spinal Special, $33 off each visit, okay? No surgery, no injections, no painkillers, just innovation and Dr. Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell right now, Medical Bay 1. You need to go in there and go, I need to see Medical Bay 1 because the innovation is amazing. Are you ready for this? Futuristic healing machine. So you're going to get a massage your body while doing the full body lasers using red light, including near infrared. That's NIR. And it's also Had stem cell stimulations for tissue regeneration, uses photons and wavelengths for the ultimate in healing. Top of that, they got the Hydrowave machine. You name it, he's got it all. Dr. Mitchell is going to get you fixed up. Go see Dr. Mitchell today over there at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Call them, 615-246-5009, 246-5009, or online at painisbad.com. We're going to be going to the World Cup soon. Pretty excited about it. Are you excited, Bell, to go see a World Cup game?
Not a little. Not even a little.
Shut up. You're excited. It's going to be fun.
You know how I am about sports.
I don't even know what gets you excited anymore.
I don't dislike sports, but I have zero passion for it.
That's why we're going to get you passionate about sports. Nothing is more passionate than going to a World Cup game, even if it is we're going to see the Democratic Republic of the Congo in the Ebola game.
I want to see I was watching a video last night on a little island country, and I've forgotten what it was.
Cape Verde?
No, it's smaller than that. It's only got like 50 people on the island, and it's its own island nation.
That is, and so it's its own island. It's the own island. Are they in the World Cup?
Well, shouldn't they be? I mean, it's the World Cup.
Yeah, but you got to qualify because we can't have everybody. That's what we're dealing with now with college sports, right? It's like how many guys? It went from what we need. We need a playoff. We need like 4 teams in college football. Oh, well, maybe we could do 12. Now we're like 16. Then soon it's going to be like, how about everybody who plays football gets no? You need something to say no, and that's what we got. So there you guys go. But we're gonna. I think that's what we're gonna go see. I was looking at it today, and the tickets for
Pac Arena.
I do not know.
PAKCAI.
Where are they at?
RNA. They're out in the ocean, about 2 days boat ride from Australia.
That seems like not a lot of people there, is what you're saying?
They have 50.
That's it?
Yeah.
Can you get a passport? Do they have a passport?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they actually will give you free land if you move there.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
What else goes on there?
And they'll give you $60,000 to build a house.
How much?
$60,000 to build a house.
Who's building the house?
Well, if you don't want to bring somebody in, then you hire somebody on the
Well, but
island.
my whole thing is there's 50 people. Where am I getting all the supplies? I doubt they have a I mean, how does it even work?
They have forests. They just live very sustainably.
Is that what it is? Yeah. So I was looking up tickets. I went on StubHub. So our choice is the Congo versus Uzbekistan or Morocco versus Haiti. I'm trying to get us Spain tickets, but I don't know if I will because Spain tickets are so out of control because they've got the best player in the world. Just a little fella. Even crappy tickets for them are going to cost you.
Has Haiti ever been a contender?
No. I think this is the only second time Haiti's ever played in the World Cup.
Okay.
Think about Haiti. Like some of these countries, like Congo, but a lot of them, Haiti's one of those ones where your grandmother, your father, your great aunt lived in Haiti. You weren't born or raised in Haiti. You probably born and raised in either England or France. And you're going to go play, or maybe even here. And you had a chance to go play in the World Cup. Why wouldn't you? I would totally do that. I would. I mean, I don't know. They may ask us to pull on a jersey that day. And I know you're going to do well, Bill. We're putting you in goal.
Water boy.
The tickets are expensive. Let's see here. A lot of you guys hitting me up on the minivan because we had our hot take. People in minivans, Honda Odysseys. Please pull over and yell and beat your kids. Stop driving 100 miles an hour and then 30 miles an hour to stay in your lane. That seems a bit violent. It does. Gilligan's Island is where you're going.
Were they?
Were you thinking about moving there, Bill? You're like, $60,000? Hell yeah, I'll take that.
Not in a serious sense, but I did go through my head what it would be like to have that kind of transition in your life because there's no radio station there. They just got internet, I think it was 2 years ago, and that was because Elon gave them a Starlink.
Yeah, Starlink works great. I used Starlink when I was because where I lived out in the middle of the valley of the dirt people was kind of like Starlink. So here's my thing on that. Because, you get a lot of these, like Italy, they're always trying to sell you a house for $1, Same thing with Japan, because everybody's moved to the cities, right? So they live in Rome, they live in Milan. They no longer live in they live in Tokyo. They live in these big central areas. So these places out in the middle of nowhere, nobody wants to live there.
Well, Tokyo's got what, 30 million people in it?
Tokyo's got a lot of people.
So, I mean, that's nuts to begin with.
Yeah.
That's almost like, Judge Dredd megacity.
Yeah. It's like one of those things where if Godzilla came out of the water and it wasn't at Tokyo, they'd be like, where'd everybody go?
That's true.
What's the island called? People want to know because they want to get their $60,000 and move there.
PAKCAIRN.
PAKCAIRN. All right. Look at that. Man, that is a tiny island. So, and they're going to give you money to move there.
Well, they don't give you money to get there, but if you put in the application and it's accepted, which at this point I don't think there is a big screening process.
Probably not.
When you get there, they'll give you a place to stay while they pick out the land that they're going to give you, and you get the house built for the 60.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean,
they are all descendants of the guy that started the mutiny on the Bounty.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. There's not a lot of things going on there. That's for damn sure. Population as of 2023 was only 35.
Yeah, they had a dip, but they came back, as they put it, because apparently they need at least 50 adults on the island to make everything that they're supposed to do for the community work.
I love how I go to the Wikipedia. One of the first things, sexual abuse in modern times. Is this Epstein's Island?
Might be you know how people have backup TikTok accounts, and maybe this was his backup island.
Wow, and this was all the way back. This is only in 1999. So it looks like you would be some sort of New Zealander, I'd guess. You got to drive on the left hand.
Well, Queen Elizabeth was on the money in the video I saw.
So you'd be that. So there you guys go. It's a British overseas territory. They used to use the sovereign state of the UK. So you'd be a Brit. The official language is Pictum and English. And there you go. So go hang out there. They're going to give you some money to move there. Have fun.
There is a lot of low-grade houses like huts and stuff like that, which, if a hurricane comes through, you're going to be rebuilding.
Which happens, I'm sure. If you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
The weird, you think, okay, do they have a grocery-ish store? Is it just basically...
They do. They have a grocery store, and it has what it has. So
whatever's there that day is what you get.
Because they only get resupplies every 3 months.
Oh, my God. And there's no plane.
If you walk in and you're like, you know what? I need a thing of butter. We're out of butter. You ain't getting butter for 3 months.
Man. Oh, you better learn how to make butter. Because I am checking it out. It's beautiful. The island is neat, but it's a place that there's no chance you want to, you would have to be at that point in your life where you just do not care.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Absolutely. 100%. You don't care. That is not a place. The island is called Picketon. Spell it again. Everybody wants to know because they're all ready to move. Are there any cute women there? My assumption is you'd probably want to bring your own.
To answer the question, they are in the extreme minority. But it's Pakcairn. Karen, I think.
So somebody said they were looking for a house in Japan. 3 bed, 3 bath. I follow a guy who is selling houses in Japan, talking about, okay, this is what you get. And first of all, the houses are amazing. They're so unique. There's still a lot of them are still very much that Japanese style. Like you go to Tokyo, right? Tokyo is everything you think it is. There's robots, there's all kinds of stuff there. But when you're outside of there, the houses are still very much, you leave your shoes outside, you could say, okay, this is where samurai was. I mean, that's the only reason I go there, because I want samurai. But it's a weird thing because the difference between the cities, and there's nobody there in so many of these small towns because everybody's moved. Because you can't afford to live in these towns anymore unless you can work remotely. But even if you're young and you can work remotely, if there's nobody around, there's a reason that they're not reproducing. Right? Like today I was reading an article that says by 2046 or 64, there's a chance Earth's population could be halved at the rate we're not producing.
Well, that's just the government coming along and killing half their citizens so that we don't have global famine.
Yes, that's right. Who was that idiot? Remember that guy?
He follows me on Twitter.
Oh, God, that was so funny.
That
was
something like Erkland or something like that.
So that guy was always on 60 Minutes.
The world's coming to an end. We have too many people. When he never takes into account the fact that the more people you have, the more brain power you have.
No,
and
never.
Then you end up having people that are smart enough to improve technology and provide advancements.
No.
Like the difference between the way and how effectively we produced food in the late 60s and early 70s, we are light years beyond that. But he never takes that into account.
I mean, if you go back, look even into the 80s, go look at what was happening with Ethiopia and stuff like that. We have eradicated a vast majority of poverty and hunger. Doesn't mean there's still not a lot out there, and a lot of that has to do with war zones and things of that nature. But we've eradicated a vast majority of that stuff. And he always thought the world was coming to an end. We can't sustain it. We can't feed everybody. It's going to be, and no
zombies. Matter how many times he was wrong, and he was wrong a lot, 60 Minutes would still put him on.
All the damn time. All the damn time. All right, coming up, speaking of somebody who loves sports, his name is Bell. He's going to deliver the sports because that's what he does sometimes. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
Weekday mornings from 9 to noon and streaming on the Super Talk 99.7 WTN app.
All right, kids. Bulwark Capital. Last week they had their webinar. Several of you joined Bulwark. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Right now, what they're doing is giving you an opportunity to take a look firsthand and talk to them about what it is they do by getting a free Know Your Risk portfolio review. This is where they'll walk you through all the things going on globally, how it can impact you. And that includes not just the oil, but that includes crypto. That includes AI, the tech world itself, and they want to show you what they're able to do. Lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility. What can they do to give you the most upside potential? That's what I love about Bulwark. They're amazing. My family trusts them, and I trust them. So should you. So why don't you do this? Sign up for the free Know Your Risk portfolio review today. And one of the things that's great about them, they give you free market updates every day, right? Because they got a podcast to make sure you guys get all that stuff at knowyourriskpodcast.com. Sign up for it. It is a free Know Your Risk portfolio review from my friends at Bulwark Capital Management. Go to knowyourriskpodcast.com or bulwarkcapitalmanagement.com. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investment for risk, not a guarantee. Past performance not guarantee future results. Trek 26103.
Hey, it's Bill Kay from the Chad Benson Show for my doctor, Dr. Kevin Mitchell and the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Dr. Mitchell is always on the cutting edge of healing technology with things like non-surgical spinal decompression, the Hydrowave machine, and now Medical Bay 1. It's a futuristic healing machine that massages your body while doing full body laser treatment using red light therapy, including near infrared. It was designed by Dr. Mitchell himself, and you're only going to find it at the Wellness Institute
Pacific, where the vast blue waters stretch. But behind its tiny population and rugged, windswept cliffs lies a fascinating history of mutiny, secrecy, survival, and an unyielding battle against time and nature. Stone structures cultivated Tara. Originally on a... Against all odds, Bly navigated this tiny boat over...
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. Avoid the headaches of a traditional home sale and move onto your timeline with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. No showings, no open houses, just a simple, stress-free way to sell your home. Hey, it's Dan Mandis, and I'm back in the studio with Mark of Mark Spain Real Estate. Now, Mark, is today's real estate climate still favorable for sellers?
That's probably a question a lot of consumers are asking today, and the answer is absolutely. The market has shifted from the extremes of the past couple of years, meaning we're headed in the direction of a more balanced environment. That means sellers still have strong opportunities to sell quickly and for a good price, especially with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate.
Thanks, Mark. You know, Mark Spain Real Estate is the #1 most reviewed real estate company in the U.S. They've got over 13,000 five-star reviews. Trust them to sell your home fast and for top dollar. Find out what the guaranteed offer would be on your home today. There's no obligation. Call them at 855-299-SOLD or go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. It's markspain.com and start packing.
This is Dr. Foley, Advanced Clinical Nutritionist DC. I've helped many people overcome thyroid issues naturally using the correct blood test and the right nutrition.
For a limited time, get your functional thyroid exam and blood test only $69. Call 615-333-0021. It was once said, do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as you ever can. That's what I've tried to do for over a quarter century. Hey friends, it's Aaron Stokes, local owner of Eurofix. We fix European vehicles at below dealer pricing. But what sets us apart isn't just price. It's our deep commitment to quality that keeps you off the tow truck. We have clean, welcoming shops where you can actually sit down. Plus a free 15-minute no-wrench inspection to share with you what's going on. At Eurofix, you get a 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all repair work we perform. Rental cars are available with appointment. 5 locations: Nashville, Franklin, Murfreesboro, Bellmead, Mount Juliet. Call us at 844-EUROFIX or visit us online at myeurofix.com. That's myeurofix.com. Call us today at 844-EUROFIX. 844-EUROFIX. Let's go.
Protesters clashing with ICE officials in New Jersey yesterday. We'll have a report. Also, a theft ring targeting pro athletes. And a teenager here in the Nashville area charged with homicide due to a horrific crash on I-24. Those stories coming up at the top of the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All righty. Every single day we bring it to you, deliver it in 3D Technicolor. Nobody does it like Bell.
Now it's time for Sports with Bell. When you need to know sports information, you turn to the guy who calls basketball shooty hoops. Let's talk some sports with Bell.
That's right. He calls it shooty hoops for a reason.
Oh, I thought we already did this because that's why I was talking about Pitcairn and their, not hockey. What were we talking about?
What sport do they have there?
World Cup. We were talking about the World Cup.
Yeah, no.
I wonder if they have a hockey team, though.
They have a hockey team. Look, I don't think you guys understand. There may be 35 of us, but we can all ice skate.
In the tropics.
In the tropics. You guys don't even get that. You have no sports, do you?
I thought that was it.
Okay. Well, here, I'll help you out. So this weekend was the
I was asleep.
steroid games.
What?
So they had 42 athletes compete in the steroid games. This is the enhanced games. This is the enhanced Olympics is what they called it. So it was weightlifting.
Wait a minute, you're allowed to use steroids?
Yeah. It's weightlifting, it's track, and it was swimming. And each person who broke a world record, I think, got $1 million. The reality is one person broke a record. That was it. And they're all on. Now, first of all, world class. These guys are and gals, they're world class-ish, right? Like they were in the Olympics, but none of them were making any of the medal ceremonies.
Was there a javelin thrower that in these games that broke a record?
No, I don't know.
Okay, because I saw a video last night of a girl who's the text said she was too old for the Olympics and too young for whatever comes after, and she's like the best javelin thrower on the planet.
Really?
She came. She on one of her throws, it was the second best in the world, and she came within 3/4 of an inch of it being the best in the world ever.
So here's the weird thing. Maha is behind the enhanced games, as is Silicon Valley.
Oh, we can take steroids now?
Well, it's what they're doing is
drop the polio vaccine, start shooting steroids.
Yeah, they want to see what people can do when given the opportunity to enhance themselves, if you will, through pharmaceuticals, which they don't want you to take if it's for the measles, but they're fine if you want to run if you want to run the 100 in under 10 seconds
and give yourself cancer eventually.
Yeah, but obviously this stuff's better than way back in the day. Only one person broke the record. It was a Greek guy who was in the Olympics, but his record doesn't count because there's asterisk because it was only a 50-meter swim, and it's the asterisk is because he used performance-enhancing drugs. I will tell you though, to say that it doesn't work is a lie. Go watch 1988. I think it was 88, and it was Ben Johnson when he beat Carl Lewis. Might have been 92 or 88. He stopped about 15 or 20 yards before the end of the finish line because it just slowed down because he was so far ahead. And when he crossed the line, I was like, that guy's a horse. Like it was crazy. It was.
And now he has a brain tumor.
Yeah, things didn't go well for him. That's all we're trying to say. All right, coming up, hour number 2 of the program, more on Iran. A bunch of other good stuff we didn't get to this hour. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7.
It is 1 p.m. I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. A weather forecast is on the way. Protesters clashing with ICE officials outside an immigration detention facility in Newark, New Jersey yesterday. Hundreds of detainees starting a hunger strike Friday, claiming inhumane conditions. ABC's Safan Kim in Newark on the clashes at Delaney Hall that happened yesterday.
ICE agents unleashed rubber bullets, pepper spray, and batons against demonstrators. A DHS spokesperson says in part that no individuals were directly struck by pepper ball projectiles. Rioters, they say, obstructed law enforcement from exiting the ICE facility. Among those sprayed in his face, by the way, was Senator Andy Kim.
6 men allegedly connected to a series of burglaries at the homes of star athletes, including Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. They're now under arrest in South America. ABC's Hannah Battah has more.
Back in 2024, the Chiefs were just minutes into a game when the thieves broke into Kelsey's home and stole jewelry, watches, cash, and other luxury merchandise. Hours earlier, a burglary was reported at Mahomes' home. And the following month, authorities say the same crew targeted the home of Milwaukee Bucks player Bobby Portis during a game.
Back here in the Nashville area, an 18-year-old charged with vehicular homicide by intoxication after a fatal multi-vehicle crash last night on I-24. Zachary Abbott, 18 years of age, he's charged with vehicular homicide and 10 counts of reckless endangerment after a multi-vehicle crash near Old Hickory Boulevard. It claimed the life of his front seat passenger, who is also 18, Talon Sewell. An investigation indicates that Abbott was driving westbound on I-24 when he drove onto the right shoulder to pass traffic and collided with a tow truck that was parked there. The passenger side of Abbott's car hit the rear of that truck and collided with the rear passenger side of a Jeep at the same time. The Jeep then struck a couple of other vehicles, and the driver of a Nissan Sentra collided head-on with the Jeep and was sideswiped by a Toyota Camry that was also in the area and couldn't avoid the crash. Sewell was ejected from Abbott's vehicle and died at the scene. The driver of the Jeep and her 4 kids, aged 12 to 15, they were taken to a hospital. They had minor injuries. They were released. Officers responding to that crash, they noticed the smell of booze on Abbott's breath and reported physical signs of intoxication. That is the latest news. We've got weather on the way. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Here's a question. I questioned it a lot during Biden, and it should have been. Should we have some questions? Trump going to Walter Reed again? This is 3 times in less than a year. I mean, he's an 80-year-old man.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have physical issues at that age.
Absolutely.
You can't avoid it. That's nature. But it seems like if it was serious enough, something would have leaked.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's fair to ask the question. I know a lot of people are like, no, what about Biden? I don't care about Biden. Biden's not there. And by the way, we all questioned Biden's because we could see it.
Yeah, he has cancer and
and we didn't see the cancer. That came afterwards.
Yeah, but the dementia is something he can't remember.
His medical results, are you ready for this? Minor sun damage, scored 30-30 in the Montreal whatever.
What was that?
I don't know. I think it's probably one of those, name a mammal. Monkey. Oh, a gorilla. Whale. You win. And 224 pounds. Does anybody buy that?
No.
Yeah,
How old? He's 6'4", right?
Right around there, yeah.
225 pounds don't look like that on 6'4".
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. No offense. His blood pressure is 128 over 74. That's good. But I think it's fair to ask because the same thing goes for, Biden. We got lied to we all knew there were issues, but I even look at the cancer thing. Sorry, you took a job where we should know what's going on with your health. Okay, that's what we should know. We should know what's going on with your health because the person behind you at the time was an idiot.
If you want to be kind about it.
So we had every right to ask questions. Okay. There you go. So I think it's that's a fair question to ask. I'm not trying to be mean. It was, oh my God, no, it's not about hating Trump. It's about, we should know that about all of our presidents. 100%, because this is the job where that is an important part of it. And I go back to Reagan. Those last 18 months with Reagan, he weren't all there. Right? We didn't have the name for it like we do with with dementia we knew, but it was just getting old, but it wasn't even that. There were times when the sun, what does they call it? The sun setting or whatever had happened. He had serious problems. We should know.
It was the best Biden ever.
Yeah, the best Biden ever. Good God, that was a joke. Absolute joke.
Joey was right.
Who?
Joe Scarborough.
Oh, that's going on. He will never live that down. I should get a T-shirt that said, I want him to sign it. This is the best Biden ever. Best Biden ever, huh? Really? Never. When I'm behind closed doors with him and he's juggling, he's riding his unicycle, right? And he's teaching, how to paint blindfolded, but he just throws the paint and magically becomes something magical while he's doing something with an abacus, learning French and Aramaic. You're like, what? But he's the best Biden ever. Meanwhile, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, Iran, they're not being helpers. This is Marco Rubio.
They're going to be open one way or the other. So they need to be open. What's happening there is unlawful. It's illegal. It's unsustainable for the world. It's unacceptable. I don't know of any country in the world that doesn't. The Russians are not in favor of the tolling system. The Chinese are not in favor of the tolling system. And there's no country in the world that's in favor of the tolling system except the regime in Iran. So that's not acceptable. That cannot happen. The straits need to be open, unimpeded, without tolls. And obviously that needs to happen.
They're not tolls. They're fees to help fight environmental damage done to the Straits of Hormuz.
I think they're more fees to help Hezbollah and what's the other?
Well, you got the Houthis, you got Hezbollah, you got, of course, Hamas.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking. And it's hard to be a terrorist organization if you got no bombs.
That's true. Although again, it goes back to the curiousness of what do they have left? How much do they have left? Is it thousands of missiles and drones and things of that nature? We know they're bombing boats, but we're bombing tiny boats that we think are laying mines. So, but what is left of theirs that if at all, we should worry about. And not so much us again. It's not about us. It's about our neighbors in the Gulf. And, because we're neighbors with them because we've decided to move our stuff onto their stuff. And that is one of the things they're saying is no more. You guys have to leave. America, you're done. You need to leave. You need to not be here anymore. Which, look, by the way, I have no problem with. We have too many damn bases all over the globe that we don't need at all. We don't need to be fighting some of these fights, and we sure in the hell don't need to be fighting these things for Israel. If Israel wants to fight this fight, somebody said earlier, they texted in last hour and they said, what if we just let Israel handle it? We'll see what happens then. Let them handle it. Israel doesn't have the manpower to go in. They could nuke to a certain extent, but here's the problem. Then you're going to run afoul of the entire globe, and everybody is going to be over you. And now you're going to be, and by the way, while you're nuking, by the time that's finished, Turkey, which cannot stand you anyways, has already launched an attack on you. Then Egypt's coming because despite what they say, Shia, Sunni, the reality is Muslims will rally around one another in that situation. So that would be that there. And then if you think gas is expensive now.
If Israel launched one nuke, no matter the size, that would not be the only one launched.
No.
The other nations that don't like them could easily use it as an excuse to attack them with nukes, and there's nothing to say that other nuclear powers wouldn't get worried about them. They could come after them, and they might feel like the need to preempt any more drops.
Yeah. I mean, the fear is that Israel is going to go too far, right? Like, that's the fear. I think we've had enough, but we're all caught between a rock and a hard place, apparently, because for whatever reason, Israel continues to get what it wants out of this country, right? And why is that? I'm curious. Well, they're the only democracy. No, they've got a massive, powerful lobbying group. And remember, AIPAC works in a different way. AIPAC isn't just a singular group. They control other groups underneath their umbrella that throw money at stuff, and they've got a huge amount of money to put around, and they do. And they do. So now we're stuck in this situation where we're at war again. Like we were, if you go back right after 9/11, we were getting ready, got to go into, Iraq. At least Iraq, they tried to sell us something. They didn't even try this. They told us we destroyed everything. Now we're in a situation where prices are remaining high. People are frustrated, right? Because we're in this bizarre feeling like a bit of a stagflation where there's not really, nobody's worried about losing their job per se, but money's not going up as far as your pay in any real way. Stuff is more expensive. Seems like you're not getting ahead because you're not getting ahead. Unless, of course, you're an older generation. The boomers, you're doing fine for the most part. For the most part, boomers are doing well. Gen X, there's not a lot of us. We are not loved. But millennials and Gen Z, you're struggling. You got massive amounts of debt. You don't look like you're ever going to get ahead anytime soon. And you're wondering, am I ever going to live without a roommate? No. The answer is no. And you don't want to wait till mom and dad die to get to have a chance to own a home. So it's a weird time right now. And this has not made it easier. And this was a war of choice. And it's funny because on the text line, we get a split. We get a lot of people out there. We had several last hour like, no, we need to do this. We need to nuke them. And then we get a lot of people out there go, I'm done with this. There's no need for this. We don't need to be there.
If your solution to this issue is to use a nuke, please sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
Because you're out of your mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm Gen X and I'm struggling. A lot of people are. Oh my God, Chad, who has a roommate? Oh, a lot of people have roommates. Especially a younger generation of people who, and by younger, I mean, we're not talking about 20, talking about people in their 30s, 40s who have roommates. Because they, just what's the average price for a home? 420 grand. If you're going to put 20% down, you need what? About 80 G's? 8,400 bucks? I mean, 80,000, 85,000, give or take. And then if you're going to put 3% down, well, then you're going to have all this other stuff onto it. It's expensive AF. People are struggling, and you guys know it. And this was something we didn't need to get involved with. Nobody doubts that the regime is bad. We all know that. How many bad people do we deal with on a daily basis? And by the way, just to let you guys know, America, we kill a lot more than they do.
Because we can.
Because we can. Because we can. I mean, we since 2000, go and look at the numbers of us, our adventures across the Middle East and elsewhere. Because we can. And it's great. We don't need to show our strength all the time everywhere. And we sure in the hell don't need to be traipsing off, fighting a war that we shouldn't be fighting for a nation that has taken a ton from us. What do they get? Guaranteed $3.8 billion a year? That's a lot of money at a time when people are struggling with health care, a time when people are struggling to make ends meet, where that's a crap ton. People are frustrated. I want Israel to be fine. And by the way, Israel, here's the other thing. Israel, and this is always, people get into it, Israel. People need to pay attention. Israel, the damage done to Israel, take away anything that happened on October 7th. Okay? After October 7th, they went in and what they did inside of Gaza, at first, everybody recognized that. At some point in time, when you're at the 70,000 range as far as deaths, and now you're starting to grow your Greater Israel project, when all of that stuff starts to go down, you look up and you realize us not stepping in at a time when we should have, because of the lobbying groups, because of the fear of something, what did that get? That got Israel to become more of a pariah to the rest of the world. Every once in a while, instead of giving people what they want, you need to give them what they need. And we didn't do that. We didn't. And now we're off in some other godforsaken war. I want to go live in, where was it? What's this place called? Pickland? Picardy? Picarin? Somebody sent me
Picarin, something like that.
Yeah, somebody sent me a video of it. It was Captain Bligh.
He was the captain of the bounty?
Yeah, I think so. It was Captain Bligh.
Well, the guy that basically established that country was the leader of the men that did the mutiny.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So it's that's where she all go live and hang out. Although that's one of those places you come to find out that they did testing for years, nuclear-wise, and all of a sudden, like they've done, what were the islands they did all the testing on? I always forget those damn islands.
Bikini Atoll.
Yeah. But they let people live there. We've done some stuff, is what we're saying, people.
Yeah.
We've done some stuff.
This stuff won't hurt you. You can eat it.
So.
I mean, it's not radioactive? Oh, it's radioactive.
So Sally says, by the way, Sally, God bless you. I don't know if this is true. Sally says she's 5'11", 225. Trump does not weigh 225. No, you're right. It says 224. Boomer, class of 64. Boy, did I blank up. I'm more in line with Gen X. So it's so funny. People like, Chad, you're cracking me up. You act as if having a roommate is something that Trump caused. No, it's been here for a while. It's not about whether or not Trump caused it. Do you remember what he ran on?
That right there is nothing but an emotional reaction. You're saying something about somebody I like, so therefore I have to connect the dots in my head and make sure that I think you don't like them.
Yes. No, it's he came in, no more foreign wars. I'm going to lower inflation. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And that hasn't happened.
He actually said those words.
Yes. And so people thought, especially a younger generation thought, well, okay, cool, this is where it's going to go. This is the way this is going to be. And not even forgetting the Epstein. We're throwing all that stuff out. Those were his words. And now people don't feel that way. They feel like, oh my God, it's another situation where stuff is going up. And it's a direct correlation with what he did. And what did he do? He went and attacked because somehow they were coming to get us in the middle of the night or something. We could sit here and go in circles. How many years have they been? Since I was a kid, I've been told they were going to get a nuclear weapon. You figure at some point in time, right, they have 900 pounds of it. They're always 2 weeks away from it. You would think at some point in time the 2 weeks would be up. Speaking of, we'll talk about him later. Little fat man from North Korea, he's pissed off. We'll talk a little bit about that. Coming up, Hot Take Tuesday. You know the rules, hot take, right? Zero politics, fun, fluff, wackiness. Give us your hot take on politics. No. Pop culture. Yes. Movies, music, food, whatever it is. That's right at Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. Oh, kids, Relief Factor is awesome. I take it every single day. I'm working out more, playing more pickleball, doing more things. This weekend, I was getting stuff ready because for the move and moving lots of stuff. And let me tell you something, I feel great thanks to Relief Factor. 100% naturally formulated, non-addictive. You take it every single day. I love it, and it has really helped me, especially as I'm working out more and doing more. I want to stay more active as I get older, and guess what? This helps fight inflammation in your aches and pains in your joints and your muscles. Try Relief Factor now. So I will tell you this, $19.95. It's a 3-week quick start. It is going to change how your body, just the normal aches and pains, it's going to eliminate that so fast. You have no idea how incredible this is. Go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com now, or call 800-4RELIEF, 800 the number 4RELIEF for Relief Factor.
It is primary day in many states, including Texas. Will Trump's influence pass another test in that state? We'll have a report. Also, the Ebola outbreak in Africa showing no signs of slowing down. We'll have those stories at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
There we go. Look at that. Belle and I had to run to the bathroom in between here. We sprinted out. I'm like, I hope nothing goes dead because they're screwed if it is. We got back in time. We screwed up while we were here. That's the beauty of that.
I had a whole minute.
There you go. Look at that. Very fast. Just peed in the corner.
Hot take, hot take, hot take Tuesday.
All right, hot take. We give you the hot take every single week. Remember, hot take is not political hot take. My hot take today is some of my favorite things. I love movie trailers. And I used to love to go to the movies early. I would hate when I'd get there and miss the trailers. It bummed me out. Now it's like 5 hours before the movies. They're running commercials and all this kind of stuff. Now, though, trailers are, I don't even need to see the movie. I can do a movie review based solely on the trailer. That's it. I don't even need to see, because I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. And Bell and I got into a conversation today about Obsession. He's like, I've already seen it. I know what it is. I don't even need to see it.
I saw a commercial for Disclosure Day, and it gave away the fact that she's an alien.
She's an alien. That's right.
I'm like, okay, why am I going to the movie now?
Yeah. Now you know she's an alien. Emily Blunt, for those of you not keeping score. It's, you know what it is? I feel like have people become so dumbed down that you have to explain to them prior to what's going to happen?
I know you're not very smart, so I'm going to tell you what you're about to pay to see.
That's going to cost you $25. What you got for us, Bill?
If somebody assigns you a project or somebody gives you a responsibility and you care more about it than they do, you have a problem. They have a problem.
Yeah. That's so true. Well, you know, you can't make people care about things, especially like work or school. Well, I tell this to my son all the time. You know, this is their job, you know, school, teachers. You go and you're there, pay attention, you know, don't be a fool. I mean, you're going to be a boy. I expect that, you know, and kids. But as far as your grades go, dude, I can't do it for you. You need to care about it a little bit more, you know? So if things go sideways, same thing. Whatever it is, work, any of that stuff. And it does get frustrating, though, when you think they care about stuff. It's important to them in their mind, but in reality, they flail at that, and they don't really give a rat's ass.
Very true.
Which is frustrating. So frustrating. A lot of you guys texting in. My hot take. The radio host in the same ad is bad. I have no idea what that means.
What was it?
I don't know. Something about the radio ads? What's wrong with that?
Oh, well, you want us to bring back the Cars for Kids commercial?
Oh, we can't do it. Oh, no, we can't do that here. Right? We can do that here.
Yeah.
California is where you can't do it. Because they lied.
Well, they just forgot to disclose something.
Yeah. Well, on the commercial, on their website, the disclosure was that they were a Jewish organization, but they made it seem like everywhere you heard the commercial, the money was going to help people in the state that they were hearing it.
Yeah, when somebody had texted in or something and said something to me about that organization, and I had to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole to be able to find out what he was talking about. But then once I got deep enough into the rabbit hole, it was like, oh, how has this been missed?
Yeah. So if you guys didn't hear last week, the California, or the week before, California ruled that Cars for Kids can no longer run in California because a guy sued because he gave his car, right? Thought it was going to help kids in California. Come to find out that it helps a Jewish organization send kids who aren't even kids, many cases 18, 19, 20, to Israel. And that's when Cars for Kids said, hey, we give a backpack out as a promotional thing. They're like, yeah, that's not helping a kid. You guys made it seem like you were helping children in California. So beware of that. All right, coming up, I got some more of your text messages. Some of you want to know about, some of you talking about the middle class. And several of you, we got some millennials there, some Gen Zers who are all saying stuff about the battle that's going on between the boomers and a younger generation. And it's an interesting battle that's going on. And all the while, there we are, Gen X, nobody paying any attention to us. We're just quietly doing our thing.
When the apocalypse hits, they're going to use us for Soylent Green.
No, we're going to be the only ones left going, oh, God, let's get this crap done. You guys suck. Jeff Bedstill, Super Talk 997.
"31 minutes past 1 p.m. I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. A full forecast in just a few minutes. President Trump's endorsement of a candidate gets its next test today. ABC's Jim Ryan, he's in Texas, where a Trump-supported challenger faces an incumbent U.S. senator in a Republican election.
In the final round of campaign ads, current Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has highlighted President Trump's support.
Trump gives his complete and total endorsement to America First patriot Ken Paxton.
But the incumbent isn't giving up on MAGA voters.
Senator John Cornyn has a proven record of supporting President Trump's agenda. Senator
Cornyn has heavily outspent Paxton to get to today's runoff. Paxton hopes that's outweighed by Trump's latest post on X, in which the president said Cornyn has been, quote, very disloyal to me. Jim Ryan, ABC News in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The current Ebola outbreak in Central Africa, it could break some records. ABC's Dr. Darian Sutton explains.
The last recent large and significant outbreak in 2014, more than 28,000 people were infected and more than 11,000 people lost their life. And right now, with the current rate in terms of the number of tests that are coming back positive and the number of suspected cases, there is a very strong risk that we might see even a larger outbreak in 2026.
There are now more than 900 suspected cases and at least 220 deaths from the virus. The World Health Organization saying the outbreak is outpacing efforts to get rid of it. The risk remains low, though, for the average American. And we're still waiting on more information about a raid at a home in Whites Creek very early this morning. The Lebanon police say it's a joint investigation with the FBI. This happened at the home in the 4900 block of Clarksville Highway. Channel 4 and other media outlets reporting the presence of a SWAT team. News 2 says a bunch of people were seen in handcuffs. We'll just stay on top of this story as soon as any updates become available. That is the latest news. We've got weather next. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is ready to help you with whatever you need when it comes to plumbing, heating, and cooling. Right now, take advantage. Great special financing. HVAC systems, brand new ones, up 12 months, no payment and no interest, no prepayment penalty, and approvals vary by credit. Here's another sweet deal. With that, you're going to get yourself a free Yeti Tundra 45 cooler when you install a 17-seat or high efficiency HVAC unit. If you want healthy air, they got you covered. The Healthy Hive exclusive. This is the electronic air cleaner, whole home UV system, regular $2,800, $2,300 installed. Plus, Busy Bee handles the TVA rebate, so you don't have to. $800 bucks back on mini split systems, $500 to $800 back on heat pump systems, even a $50 rebate on AC tune-ups. And if you need some plumbing help, and they, a lot of us got some issues, they're there for you. $300 off whole home drain repipes, $500 off water distribution repipes. Call Busy Bee today, 615-775-7833, or visit busybeehvac.com now. Dun, 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 dun. So Texas today's primary race. So the guy that's going to win is Ken Paxton, right? Trump came out and endorsed him, right? You know, John Cornyn's been there a long time, and he's an establishment guy.
Does Tallarico even have a competitor in the Democrat primary?
Yeah, he beat. Remember the first time they ran. This is the runoff. So the first time he ran, he beat. What's her name? The one that we always make fun of. I always forget.
Sheila Jackson Lee?
No.
AOC.
No, but it's like AOC. The young chick. I always forget her name.
Kylie.
But beat her, and you had to get 51. Right? If you get 50 plus 1, then you don't have to go to a runoff.
Okay.
That didn't happen over here. Jasmine Crockett, that's who it was. And so now you've got today's runoff. Now, Cornyn and Paxton are pals. Paxton is the AG. First of all, doesn't like weed, right? So already in our book, one of those guys.
If you want my vote, all you have to do is make it legal for me to smoke a joint at the election location.
I think he's being facetious there, well, sarcasm. But all kidding aside, he's had issues. Insider trading. He was indicted for that. He was impeached because his own staff went to the FBI. They impeached him, and who are they? Not the Democrats. The Republicans impeached him, but they couldn't get it across the finish line.
Is the state process the same as the federal?
Yeah, kind of.
So the House
it's very similar, yeah.
House impeaches and Senate puts on the trial.
Yeah. Okay. Now, mind you, he's had to pay off his whistleblowers. He's had to pay off his stuff that he did with the alleged insider trading and whatnot. And let's not forget some of the other wacky stuff he's done, like run around with the veil of I'm this super Christian and do what? Go out and his wife divorces him on biblical grounds, including things like had a long affair, got her a job working for some other politician, did a whole bunch of stuff. So there is a lot of things with this guy. John Cornyn he's a duh. He's a duh. There's nothing about him. Right? I've interviewed him. He's a nice guy, but it just doesn't go any further. Trump likes the fact that Paxton is MAGA. But they're going up against a guy that is popular and not Beto popular. I think a lot of people want to compare him to Beto. Beto O'Rourke was an idiot, right? He was a guy who was a trust fund dude who rode around on his skateboard, like, hey, what's going on, man? Look at me, free in love. This guy's not that guy. He's not. And Beto, he would take the most bizarre things and run with it. And here's the other thing, too. Beto never seemed to be serious about it. That was also the other side of it. When I talk to my friends who, because I do shows all over the country, some of them are there, and we'd have them on, they're like, yeah, when you go to his things, he seems more about the vibe and looking cool than he does about the job. He's like one of those guys that wants to be on stage every night, but doesn't want to be the roadie. Doesn't want to pull his own microphone up there. So this guy's not that, Tallarico. But John Cornyn has been very honest. Look, I can beat Tallarico, but it'll be close. I don't think Paxton could beat Tallarico, and it's going to cost $100 million to beat him.
He's got to be related to Steven Tyler.
Who?
Tallarico.
No, I don't think so. Is that his name?
That's his real last name, yeah. And I've never heard that name anywhere outside of the two of them.
Wow, I've never heard. No. That'd be cool if he was. And look, there's Tallarico's, they're going to come for him. The gender thing, he's a pastor, a lot of that stuff. I get that. But you don't want to make it harder than you need to. See, last week, Massey, he lost. Okay, we saw that. There was a lot of money put into that, by the way. So Massey lost, and he's also filed yesterday. Did you see that? He filed. He's going to run again, so that way he can still raise money. So he lost. But that's whoever won that was going to win anyways. While Cornyn may not be MAGA, he votes with him like 99% of the time. And it's going to be closer than it should be. It is. And look, everything goes out the window. If the economy is roaring and everybody feels good about the economy, and we're back, we're out of this stupid war with Iran or excursion or police action or whatever the hell it was. If we're out of all of these things and things are good, then you know what? Tallarico's he's going to struggle more. But if we're still in that and more crap comes out about Paxton, because he is going to win today, you're going to see a potential to throw $100 million at something that you may not win, which would be shocking. It would be. And Paxton is loved by the MAGA people, but by the average, like a lot of the average people in Texas, they're not big fans of his. They're not. And not everybody can compartmentalize. You know, everybody's like, well, I didn't hire him to be my pastor. No, look, if my pilot's a scumbag, right, because he has chicks in every place, or your favorite athlete, but on the field he does something, that's fine. I got no problem with that. You know what? He doesn't control anything more than my enjoyment on the field or whatever that day. It's a different story when it comes to politicians, especially if they're using their influence like he's been accused of doing. And that's just, when I said earlier, the baggage that comes with them is massive. He's going to need a couple valets and some of those pushy things that you get. But he will win tonight. But winning a primary is not winning a general. And he'll be tested in this. But all bets are off if the economy gets we're back to $2.50 gas. What was the lowest it's gotten in the last 6 months or a year? But prior to the war.
I think, if I can remember back, I vaguely remember a 320, maybe 325, something like that.
Yeah. So we get back to some lower gas. We get back to an economy that feels good. And by the way, fuel will come back to a certain extent. How much? Depends on what ends up happening once they get this thing sorted out. All of these things will start to eventually come back. How much? Well, we'll see. But if we're still in stagflation, if prices are still feeling inflated, if you're not growing when it comes to your wages, yeah, I got news for you. All of these things are going to be a test. So the general is not the primary. So Trump's a kingmaker for the Republicans when it comes to all of these, hey, look what I did to Massey and stuff. Yeah, but you also got through Herschel freaking Walker. Remember that? Oh, my God. He's like, I was watching a thing about vampires and werewolves. And you're like, oh, my God. So,
It doesn't get any better than that.
No, that was pretty awesome, though. I mean, I've watched that movie too, Herschel. But you know what? I'm not going to talk about it. Outside of that.
What do you think about what we need to do with SNAP benefits, Mr. Walker? Oh, I think we need a Godzilla movie right now.
What do you think a werewolf would do with SNAP benefits? I have no idea, because nobody here is a werewolf. You'd have to find one and ask them what they would do. Oh, that was quality of candidate matters. So I'll let you guys know that. Quality of candidate matters.
And I think he was trying to be relatable.
Yeah.
And failed at it miserably.
Yeah. And think about this, right? And you know who will tell you this more than anybody else is Matt. I mean, Herschel Walker is a god there. Even people who voted against him love him. I mean, he is all of the things. But he was a hot mess. Dr. Oz, bit of a hot mess. Just a smidge. Was it Charcuterie Board? Remember that? When he's like, one night he was talking about, he's trying to be relatable as well, but you could tell that his relate was a different world than everybody else's. And you're like, ooh,
You mean everybody in here isn't a millionaire that had their own show?
No, they're not. No, not everybody got their start with Oprah? What? Hey, speaking of Dr. Oz, did you see what they've offered Fetterman to come over? Trump says he'll endorse him and he'll open up the pocketbook. to throw money at Fetterman. Fetterman is saying there's no way he's switching parties. I could see him go independent, but I don't think he'll switch parties. I don't. I could see him go independent, though. There's no doubt that that's a possibility because if he was to run today, he's going to lose. He is. Even though I think Fetterman's a good guy and anybody who wears shorts and a T-shirt to work is thumbs up for me. But, yeah, he would lose. But Trump said he would throw all the money he needed and back him. And the endorsement, like we talked about it last week, endorsing this past week, he kind of came out and endorsed Spencer Pratt. He said, I heard he's a MAGA guy, so that's good. Kind of like endorsement. Like, it works in some places. And Spencer didn't poo-poo it, but what he did say was, I'm not about any of those things. I'm an Angelino, Los Angeles. I am here for this. This is a nonpartisan race, et cetera, et cetera. And he came, because in some areas that works really well to put you over. But you got to always think of the general. The general is the thing that you have to think of. And I'm not talking about the car insurance. The general.
And we'd have to have a speech from Shaq.
That's right. Did you ever see when Family Guy did the general? It was the best when they sang the song about the general. Oh my God. So there you go. We got some of your text messages coming up. We've also got a phone call. Ronnie, I'm going to go through and make sure you didn't cuss because I don't mind the cussing. The problem is
we can't use it on the air without working on it first.
Yeah, it makes my life a little hard. And I don't think you did anything. I think everything was cool. But I'm just saying, because, people say, why don't you play some videos on these things? Well, first of all, because we'd be asked a lot. But secondly, for a lot of the stuff, especially on White Woman Wednesday, there's so much cussing. I would spend hours just doing that.
I can't fault anybody for cussing because of Kylie.
No,
she's pretty frustrating to
by the
listen
way,
to.
she was on it this weekend, too, and stuff happened to her.
And we got
Tomorrow is going to be crazy. Crazy. All right, coming up, got some of your text messages. Also got some of your hot takes. My buddy Jim texted in and said, hey, 4-day work week should be mandatory. I'm like, that's a good idea. Would you rather do 4 10s or 5 8s?
I would rather have the ability to choose.
Okay.
Because some people, like the guy who's been married for 55 years and he and his wife aren't as close as they used to be, and he's like, man, getting out of the house is a great thing when
he
I
wants
go to
an
work.
escape.
Yeah, he wants to be able to go to work.
Okay.
But I don't think that's the kind of thing government ought to be deciding for us, because some people don't want to work 4 days. They prefer having that routine 5 days a week.
Well, I keep playing the lottery because I don't want to work at all. Right? I'm buying. Hey, once we get all that, guys, I'm going to give Bell $100,000 in his own ship to head on over to the island of
my own tuna boat,
Pickerton or whatever it's called. so Bell can be there.
Cairn.
Dude, you should show up in a pirate outfit. How awesome would that be?
Sorry, I'm late.
We got lost. We turned it left. It was, it's a long story. It's a long story. All right, coming up, some of your text message, among other things. Chad Ben Show, Super Talk 99.7. Omaha Steaks. Father's Day is coming up. Now, you could get Dad that thing he's never wanted, but you want to get it for him anyways. You know what I'm talking about. The tie, right? You can get him something like that. A gift, I got your gift card, Dad, to Starbucks. No. Nothing wrong with Starbucks. I'm just saying, Omaha Steaks. 50% off, site-wide. Top of that, you can save an extra $35 off when you use my code Benson right now for the best steaks around, 100%. Bite for bite, money-back guarantee. He is going to love it. And on top of that, imagine this. Dad gets him, celebrates Father's Day. You get invited over. You guys can have steaks and dogs and burgers. The kids, the grandkids, everybody's going to be around. You're making memories, and you're doing with the best around. Dad wants it, being steaks. He wants burgers. He wants chicken. They've got it delivered to you. Incredible. So that's what I want you to do. Go save big right now, omahasteaks.com. Save an extra $35 off at checkout when you use my code Benson. That's omahasteaks.com, code Benson, omahasteaks.com, code Benson. Terms apply. See site for details.
We'll have the latest on the U.S.-Iran peace deal negotiations. Also, consumer confidence. Where does it stand these days? And a Nashville medical technician in some hot water. We'll have those stories at 2 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Ooh, I'm going to have time to get through some of these calls and stuff. First, got some good stuff. People left us messages. I want to make sure I get through all of those things. People talking about gas. Let's see here. 6 months ago, gas was $2.34. I don't remember that. Murfreesboro, 209, just after Christmas. $2.75 in Kentucky. That is, that's good. I mean, that's what we want.
I'd take any of those prices right now.
Hell yeah. And look, are prices going to go down? Yeah, at some point in time. Now, how much they go down depends on what kind of deal ends up getting done And there's no guarantee that this deal is going to drop everything back to where it was before. I would love to think that was going to happen. And it's still going to take a while. There's no snapping the fingers to making this happen.
And it's amazing how quickly we become accepting of higher prices if they're lower than what we were paying.
Yes.
So you have that big spike. It comes down a little bit. It's still 15% over what you were paying before it happened. But, at least it's not the other.
Mm-hmm. And for Trump, 502 is the fear. Highest price ever, Biden 501. And Biden jacked the pooch by not going to MBS earlier, right? Because the whole thing that happened in Khashoggi. He couldn't do anything about what took place with the shock from the oil world after, Russia invaded. There's only so much he could do, but there was things he could have done to mitigate. And what he did do were ridiculous. Like he dipped into our oil reserves in such a way that was ridiculous. Trump's done the same. Right? So we've got issues. There's no doubt. But do I think eventually it'll come back? Yes. The difference was Trump picked this fight that didn't need to be picked at all. All right, coming up, hour number 3 of said program. Some of your text messages. We got your hot take as well. If you're missing the show, shame on you, grab the podcast. Chad Ben Show, Super Talk 99.7.
It is 2 p.m. I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. Stand by. We'll get you that weather report. President Trump most recently urging U.S. negotiators to take their time talking possible peace with Iran, but saying the framework of a deal is largely done. ABC's Karen Travers says largely done is a really optimistic take.
We don't see another date certain from the president of Iran has until this time. Iran has this window in order to make a deal. He has put deadlines in the past only to see them come and go. And now at this point, it is not clear if there is a idea in the president's mind of when this has to get done by.
The inflationary effects of that conflict aren't lost on American consumers. ABC's Jim Ryan has the latest gauge on how they're feeling about all this.
The Conference Board's index is benchmarked to a 1985 score of 100. Right now, consumer confidence clocks in at 93.1, which is lower than the April number, but better than economists were expecting. Analysts at the Conference Board say the low reading on current conditions is tempered by consumers' expectations that things will be better 6 months from now.
A medical technician here in Nashville in the pokey for allegedly trying to smuggle drugs into a Nashville prison.
Police say Tamarcus Macon was stopped last week at a security checkpoint at the Lois-Berry Special Needs Facility. That's when officers say they searched his bag and found opioids, along with papers allegedly laced with synthetic marijuana and heroin. Investigators say Macon was denied entry to the facility and left the property.
That's Channel 4's Danielle Ledbetter reporting. The drugs were sent to TBI for testing, and that led to Macon's arrest. That is the latest news. We've got weather next. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Go to our website, you fill out a quick form, we set an appointment, we bring you an all-cash offer. Literally, there's no lockbox on the front of your house, there's no showings, we pay all cash, we close in as little as 21 days, stress-free. We've helped thousands of homeowners just like you sell your home the hassle-free way with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate.
Rain all week. The weather wizard back tomorrow. Also, one-hit wonder tomorrow. Get your one-hit wonder in. So Ken's got the belt. Turd.
He doesn't have it with him.
No, he doesn't.
So I'm just going to walk around saying, yeah, it's mine.
We know. We know.
Nobody in the halls is going to know.
No.
Like, yeah, it's mine. I want it.
Yeah, I want it. I want it. That's how I do it. So get your one-hit wonders in for tomorrow. Bell will pick his. I'll pick mine. Ken will pick his. Then you can decide which one's
and then
the best.
Ken and Chad will make fun of my pick.
Probably. It's possible. Got a couple picks out there. I've been noodling around in the dome. Let's let you guys know that we're still in the midst of the Iran talks. And currently, we have both won the war, sunk everything they've ever had, destroyed all of their nuclear capabilities, and we're still negotiating because we didn't do all of that. And it's funny, I said, because we've been talking about it. Look, Iran's doing the same thing that the likes of Ukraine had to do without the help. Because let's be real, Ukraine would have been boat raced early without the help. Now, I don't know what Russia was going to do with, they weren't going to be able to occupy in any real way. But they would have been in a lot of trouble. They got a lot of help from us. Lots and lots and lots of help. And I want to remind everybody, lots of help is big fat checks to donors and to companies here for making equipment, but they only had to survive. And that's all that Iran has to do. They just, every day that they're still there, the regime, it's a day they win. And it's unfortunate, right, that we're in this. We shouldn't be in this situation. We shouldn't. We shouldn't be anywhere near this situation. Because they were, and a lot of people out there think that somehow they were magically a threat to us. They weren't a threat to us. You know who threatened us? Who was it today? Was it little fat guy, little rocket man?
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un came out because he fired off some stuff into the ocean, as he does.
Wart boy.
Fires it off, right? Because that's, why? He's pissed.
That's his equivalent of throwing a tantrum because nobody's looking.
Because nobody's looking at. He's like, wait, I got stuff.
I actually have bombs.
But I don't know how to get the stuff onto a missile, but I got it.
I can fire the missile, but I can't get the stuff on it.
Yeah, so we got a problem there, but you know what? Doesn't mean, and he threatened South Korea, and then, of course, he's going to saber rattle, and then somebody's going to send him $1 billion and some steaks, right? He's the guy who he wants some cognac, he wants some steaks, send him a signed poster from Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, he's getting all that. It's his constituency that's eating grass and dirt.
So, yeah, that's it. Although, man, I watched because for whatever reason, I liked one video that I think Bell sent me. Now I can't get off the damn North Korea stuff. It gets sent to me. But, he's tried to open up a little bit, but he doesn't want to give his people a lot. And they don't know any better, right? I mean, they're not too dissimilar from the people that are in the jungles that try to kill the Mormons every time they show up.
They are taught that the rest of the world is basically an apocalypse.
Yes.
And their country is the only place on the planet that has it that good.
Yeah. And
that's just part of their education, and they have no way to look beyond it to find out if it's true or not.
No, they don't. And interesting. So there's a guy who escaped. And I got to find his story was really interesting though. Basically, he's at home with his family, and he's a kid. He's a youngster. Knock on the door. Mom's crying at the table. Dad refuses to look at him. It's like 2 a.m. Dudes in suits come in, grab him, take him, and he is magically on his way to become, essentially a guard. Grow up, and as he gets further and further into his life, he gets closer to, Kim Jong-un. But the interesting thing he said is they're told all of this stuff about how bad life is elsewhere. Like, you're going to go somewhere else, but they have to go to places like China. They have to go to Singapore and a few other places where they send diplomats. And he realizes, oh, my God, these people have been lying to us. There's all kinds of stuff. This isn't staged.
There was a terrorist, I can't remember her name, but she blew up a flight that was going from, I want to say somewhere in Africa over to India. And they were on the plane, left a bomb on it, got off. And they ended up getting arrested, but she ended up confessing to the crime. They gave her, under law, she would have been executed. They bypassed that, gave her 2 years, and she said the reason that she figured out that she was being lied to and that it was all crap was because when they were driving her to the police station and she saw all the cars and all the lights on and that, they had all these places to go eat. And she's just like, it was this wave of things that we're told we couldn't enjoy anywhere.
Yeah. That didn't exist.
Yeah.
And it was, the collapsing of the Soviet Union sped up when they had that big, I can't remember which one, summit, and it was here. And it was Yeltsin and, it was a Gorbachev. And so Boris Yeltsin goes with, I think it was Bush at the time, and they go to a grocery store. And he has them go to several grocery stores because he thinks everything is fake. Then he realizes, holy crap, we can't beat them. Nobody's waiting for food. Nobody's unhappy. Nobody looks like a babushka, one of those ladies that always looks sad, right? You see how beautiful those women are when they're young, and then they get to like 50 and they look, why? Because their life's hard.
They get to 50 and look 80.
Yeah. So he realized the trouble. It was the same thing that happened, World War II. The Germans realized early, we can't beat them. We shoot down one of their battleships. They got 5 more by Friday. We can't beat them. We can't. And that's, that was a big deal.
Yeah, so they were hitting B-52s with regularity, and as soon as one would get shot down, another one would come to replace it.
Yep, all the time. That was the beauty of our world at that point in time. It's a different world now, obviously. But the little guy over there, he's got a bomb. That wasn't supposed to get a bomb. That promised all the things that he wasn't going to get a bomb. So he saber rattles all the time. But you know what? We're not fighting with him. Why is that? Because he's got a bomb. Although, to give you guys an understanding, it is not simple. Even if Iran broke out tomorrow with nuclear, they take their uranium, they get it to the point where they're ready to weaponize it. It would take them probably 12 months to 18 months. Although it's Iran, they may do it in 8 months to a year to even get to the point where they were going to tip it with anything. So do I think that's going to happen? No. I've been told that since I was a kid. It isn't going to happen. Meanwhile, Ronnie called, and he didn't cuss. Ronnie, thank you so much for not cussing.
You guys are tripping every day.
Tripping balls? No, just tripping.
Y'all really into that class warfare, ain't you? All I ever hear you talk about is Gen Z and Gen whatever and boomers. That's all y'all ever talk about. We're Americans. But I digress. Listen, if you were Trump and you were dealing with a regime, Islam, that's put bounties on your head and bounties on your family's head, you might see this a little differently too. You might realize and understand the danger they are, not only his family and himself, but to America, to the West, to Christians. Israel's not going to nuke them. And y'all act like if we turn it over to Israel and let them deal with it, that they're going to nuke them. No, they're not. They're not going to nuke them.
That's the exact opposite of what you said.
These terrorists are the ones that shoot first. And when Israel responds, you people on the left freak out and accuse them of genocide. Come on, guys. Look at it from both sides, and then maybe you'll see the light. All right?
Well, maybe if you actually paid attention to what we were saying, you might understand.
Yeah.
But just nobody said anything about Israel committing genocide.
Yeah.
You got to use both ears.
They did a little genocide stuff in Gaza. Let's be real.
But nobody on this show has been talking about that as a theme.
No, we haven't. Now, I mean, I wasn't thrilled by the way they did because our money was funding them killing a whole bunch of people, which I didn't like, and starving them, which wasn't cool. But it also hurt them. You know, I mean, again, sometimes you got to tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. And the damage that Israel's done to themselves globally for a younger generation, which I've heard from, by the way, a younger generation that you guys, surprisingly enough, we have kids that are millennials, youngsters that are, Gen Z that listen and text in and say, and it's not about class, it's not a class warfare thing. It's an age thing. It's a generational thing. And an older generation, if you go and look at every metric out there, who's left that supports what's going on in Iran and Israel? Boomer Republicans, libertarians, people under 65. I mean, you can go on and on. They don't support this. They don't. And somebody asked earlier, Chad, you say forever wars. What are forever wars? So for those of you not keeping score, we have been bombing and or at conflict since World War II. I want you to think about that. Before we got into Iran, before anything, Trump continued to bomb in Somalia, where he set a record, and Yemen. Let's not forget, Obama, that guy bombed all kinds of things. And I was one of the few people that would bring it up because everybody was too busy fighting the DEI crap, which is like, whatever. This guy's bombing everything in the Middle East. He's gotten us into more damn countries blowing crap up that costs money and destabilizes. Look at under him. Look at what happened to Syria. Look what happened to Libya. Look at all of those things. Not to mention the other crap we got into. More in Yemen, more in Somalia. I mean, we were bombing all over the place. Maybe we don't need to blow stuff up. Maybe it's time that we start taking some of that money and putting it towards, I don't know, us here. Right? I'm still waiting for health care. How's your health care? Anybody? Jay, you got health care in there? How's that going?
It's more expensive than it was.
So have you tried the Don't Get Sick? That's the new health care from.
Yeah, that's, I've had, I'm an old man, I guess. I fell here not too long ago. Hurt myself. Thought I broke some ribs.
Ace freely?
Yeah, I thought I'd broken some ribs. But I'm like, man, I ain't going to the doctor. This is just going to have to deal with it,
Because it's so darn expensive.
Dude, you've got a railroad spike in your head. Yeah, I know. It'll heal.
You know what?
Rub some dirt on it.
I'm getting used to it. I'll be fine. Oh, goodness me. See? That's it. Chad, if you had the chance to bomb Somalia, would you do the same? No, I don't really want to bomb Somalia. Somalia's got enough problems, okay? And you know what I'd rather do? Let's take that, protect ourselves even more, put ourselves in positions that matter, that we need to protect certain things. And most importantly, let's take that money and redirect it to paying down some of this debt, to fixing some of these things that have happened here that have been ridiculous, that both parties have been absolutely just blind to because their donors don't like it. That's what I think we should do. I think we should look at doing things like that. Bringing down the cost of healthcare would be wonderful because it is ridiculous. It has gotten out of control. You guys recognize that 100%. So I would not, Jason. But would you? I heard we pay for Israel's health care. Yes, we do. Biden caught so much crap when he started flooding the market with Fed Reserve oil. Yes, he did. Because he panicked. Why is that? Because he refused to do what he needed to do, which is sometimes we have to deal with bad people. And MBS isn't the nicest person in the world, even though he's been more liberal to his people. He didn't want to go over and talk to him and get them to open the spigot. And so because of that, we suffered. Now, he didn't make old Putin go in to Ukraine, but he could have made things a little bit easier on himself, but he decided not to. So what did he do? He panicked and went into the reserves. And everybody's like, first of all, it's not going to do enough to knock it down. You need to go and talk to the source to increase more. And he didn't. Until it was too late. Didn't you remember that too? He wouldn't even shake his hand, and he used it as COVID, like they rubbed elbows, like that was silly. Oh, God. But don't worry, though, because he is the greatest. This is the best Biden's ever been. Just want to let you guys know that. Ever. Ever. All right, coming up, Hot Take Tuesday. What's your hot take? Non-political hot take. Hot take. Non-political hot take. Could be pop culture, could be food, could be sports, whatever it is. Let us know. Text us with your hot take. We'll do that straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. All right. My good friends over at Bulwark would love to talk to you about the investment world. Why is that? Because opportunities abound, and putting yourself in the right position when it comes to your investments and your retirement, it's important. And some of that is, first and foremost, making sure you have the money, right? So you don't lose it. And at a time when energy fluctuation is there, as far as the market goes, AI, how real is it? Or isn't it? Is it something that could really pop at any given time? That's why they would love to talk to you. They want to give you what they call a free Know Your Risk portfolio review. It's absolutely free to you. And they're going to show you what they're all about. Risk management, number one most important thing. Lower risk, lower cost. Give your retirement and investments as much upside as possible. So this is what I want you to do. Sign up for it today. All you have to do is go to knowyourriskpodcast.com. You can also get the latest market updates every single day. What's happening in the market, not just here, but globally. Get your second opinion. Get a second set of eyes on your portfolio and your retirement. Go to Know Your Risk Portfolio Review today for Bulwark Capital Management's portfolio review, absolutely free to you. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investment involved risk, not a guarantee. Past performance, not guarantee future results. Check 26103.
Metro Police here in Nashville, they're testing a new drone program. We'll fill you in. Also, a deadly I-24 crash overnight results in a teenager being charged with homicide. We'll have those stories coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That is us. You are you. Every single Tuesday, we do it. We give you that hot take. Remember, the hot takes are non-political because we do enough political stuff around here. But these non-political hot takes. Hot take, hot take, hot take Tuesday. All right, hot take Tuesday. Bell, you lead this one. Turd.
That was nice. You know what? Just for that, I'm not going to do it.
But you're going to.
If you are given some kind of an assignment or are expected to provide a service that you care more about than the person doing the assigning, there is a problem.
Yeah.
You cannot be left in a vacuum like that. And still respect the person who's just trying to lead.
To do their job, right? Now, I don't expect, if you own a business, you treat people right. The goal is to get people to that you empower them, you want them to work for you, but they're never going to care as much about something as you're going to care about. But if you're a manager at a business and you work there too, because you don't actually own the company, and you got to get something done, and you say, hey, can you do this? And they're like, yeah, and then they don't because they don't give a crap. Maybe this is an issue you have. Maybe. Because if you own a business, nobody's going to care about your business as much as you do. Nobody is. But if you work
nobody's going to spend your money better than you do.
There you go. There you go. He knows that. What I'm talking about. For me, I love movies. And I love movie trailers. And we've gotten to the point now where a movie trailer used to be 2 minutes long, but there would be lots of voice work in a world. Don LaFontaine and the likes of that.
Now you'll get a 4-minute trailer.
With no words in it, except at the end we go, rated R. Those kind of things. And all of that being said, now I know what the movie is. Before, there was a bit of mystery. Now I can tell you exactly. I can tell you how well a movie's going to be based on a review and a look at the trailer.
They actually do stuff now, too, that I still, just as thinking in marketing terms, I think it's ridiculous, is they'll give you the first 9 minutes of the movie. They'll publish first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yes.
And you know what that time is called? Setup.
I watched, so what's the movie, the Thor, He-Man, what the hell's that new one called? He-Man.
Masters of the Universe.
They've got, you can go watch like a 4-minute this and a 3-minute of that and a 6-minute of this where you watch I watched him flirt with the girl. I don't know who the girl is. I mean, she's hot. I've seen her and stuff, but.
Probably She-Ra.
Yeah, is that who it is? I don't know. But I'm watching it. Then I watch him turn into He-Man. And I'm thinking, this is supposed to be.
That was a lifestyle choice.
What?
That was a lifestyle
It was a lifestyle choice.
But there's certain instances where you can take all the stuff they put out on YouTube and almost piece the movie together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's why I said or the first 9 minutes of something. What's the first 9? I want to go to the movie to watch it if I'm going to watch it. I don't need the first 9 minutes. But even you said today with the disclosure day, Emily Blunt's an alien. Like they give it to you because apparently you're not smart enough to get that, or you couldn't wait to go see it. So, I love somebody said, people who have flip-flops and slides that are too big for their feet. That drives me crazy too. That drives me crazy. So you've got you're a size 10, but you're wearing a 12 slide. That is not a good look. That is not. There should be weight limit on spandex sales. That's not fun. They have a new He-Man movie coming out. They do have a new He-Man movie coming out. There's no doubt about that. I don't know. This is a perfect example of, they were talking about, as we've been talking about generations and the battle that's going on between a younger generation that skips Gen X and goes straight to the boomers versus the younger generation. One of the things that they were talking about with the He-Man movie or whatever it's called, Masters Universe or whatever it is, a younger generation doesn't know who Skeletor and all those guys and gals are. They have no idea. Because it was kind of our age, Gen X, and we're not thrilled by it because it was like one of those cartoons where like, that was never my go-to cartoon when I was a kid. Ever. I never watched it and went, oh, I'm really going to like this.
I never liked it either. In fact, I thought the whole thing of him raising the sword up and going, I have the power. It's stupid.
Yeah, even as a kid. So, and because they're like Spider-Man, all of them, you go watch those, you go to those card, you watch the nerds that are like Bell and they're always at these card things and they're trading cards or they're going and they're talking about comic books. I've seen 1,000 of those, and never once have I seen somebody go, man, I can't wait for the next He-Man movie. Nobody does. I think that movie's going to crap. You know what crap this weekend? Did you see that, Bell? How bad Grogu?
Mandalorian and Grogu.
It's the worst one ever. Opening. Because I look at it and I think that should be TV, and I want to kick that little thing.
Yeah, I definitely should have. It should have been a Disney exclusive.
Yeah, that's what it should have been.
Put it up for streaming.
Yeah, and instead it is a dumpster fire. And you got that movie Obsession, cost $750,000 to make. It's at $90 million. That's a good ROI, kids. That's a good ROI. Coming up, we got more on Iran. We got some of your text messages. Somebody asked, somebody said something about Biden and oil. I'm going to give you oil numbers for permits on Biden that I think will shock most people. Chad Bensdale, Super Talk 99.7.
It's 31 minutes past 2 p.m. I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. Hang on, a weather forecast is coming up. Metro Nashville Police, they're beginning a new drone program today. Here's Channel 4's Joylyn Bukovac.
The department is launching what's called a drone as first responder. This is a pilot program, and 3 drones will launch from the roof of the Madison precinct and then respond to certain emergency calls within about a 2-mile radius. And police say that the drones could help during active investigations, missing person searches, and major crashes as well.
Police say that sending out a drone first will help them know what to expect when officers arrive on the scene. The test plans to last for 45 days. Also here in the metro area, a crash last night on I-24 westbound ended in tragedy. The crash near Old Hickory Boulevard involved 4 cars, one of them overturning. The incident has resulted in 18-year-old Zachary Abbott being charged with vehicular homicide and 10 counts of reckless endangerment after the crash claimed the life of his front seat passenger, Talon Sewell, who is also 18. 2 others were transported to a local hospital and later released. Police say they smelled alcohol on Abbott's breath, and he was also just not very steady on his feet. The Deep South still bracing for another round of heavy rain and storms after there were some damaging storms this past weekend.
A suspected tornado slamming into the ABC station in Dothan, Alabama. Security cameras catching the moment one employee tried to leave the building when the glass wall started shaking before a glass pane was smashed and sucked into the storm. Several nearby homes damaged, but no injuries reported.
That's ABC's Lindsay Tuckman reporting those storms turned deadly near Hattiesburg, Mississippi, also in the state of South Carolina. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Beacon Capital Management, like to talk to you. Give you a free, personalized financial consultation. Nobody wants to outlive retirement. Beacon can help you when it comes to things like, hey, you want to know what your income's going to be. They can help you with that guaranteed income. Maybe you need help with taxes. Again, Beacon can help you with that. They're amazing with that. And then you've got a lot of other stuff that, you want to think about. Survivor benefits. Ooh, yeah, didn't think about that. What about long-term care, which is vitally important in today's world to make sure that all those things you worked of don't get snatched up because you need long-term care. Beacon can help you with that. They can do it all. State planning, you name it. They've got it all handled for you. Get a free personalized financial consultation today. Visit beaconcm.com or call 615-488-9303. 615-488-9303 or online at beaconcm.com. For Beacon Capital Management, this is a paid placement. Hi, Bill. Was I supposed to do something there?
Yeah, I forgot to move the placeholder.
That's why we love you, brother. We'll get to it later.
Good at 50.
We'll get to it later. Several of you have texted in talking about us producing oil. Biden this, Biden that. Yeah, Biden was awful. Biden didn't want us, look, I don't want us drilling on certain federal land, okay? I think...
Y'all got to quit criticizing Biden.
Yeah.
The poor guy didn't know where he was half the time.
Yeah.
He wasn't making decisions.
Still doesn't.
That guy was just like, where's my ice cream cone? And I think I pooped my pants.
Yeah. He should have been retired a long time ago. But everybody's like, oh, Sanders like, we've heard this leftist talking point about how much he drilled. Yes, historic, record-breaking oil production. It wasn't just the drilling permits. And everybody like, well, a lot of people didn't drill. You know why they didn't drill? Because so much oil was being produced, it wasn't worth it to them. It's a lot of money to go and to put a drill in the ground and to try and find oil and then to produce it. And if you're not going to make enough money for the upkeep, it's just good to have the permits. We were producing 13.2 million barrels per day at the end. That growth continued all the way through 2024. And under him, we became the number one oil producer ahead of Russia and Saudi Arabia.
If we're drilling so much, how come we're not getting those big fat oil checks like the Saudis do?
It's a good question. Maybe we should. Well, because while we drill, not all of our oil we use here, because some of it is we sell in the open market. Some of it isn't. It's just too hard to refine in certain areas, so we don't do it. And the second thing is because we need to start throwing a fit. Maybe they're afraid. They have to pay their people not to kill them.
I just want my oil check.
Really?
Where's my oil check?
Is it the Seminoles? They're the ones in the gambling folks down there in Florida.
Yeah.
They're the ones who get, what is it, $8,000 a month? Every man, woman, and child?
So if you're a family of 4, you're getting $32,000 a month?
Yeah, if I'm correct.
Wow.
They say by the time that you're 18, you should easily be a millionaire. That's a good deal if you can get it. Whew! That's a good deal.
I just think we should be more like Saudi Arabia and hand out free money. But maybe forego beheading people for crimes.
Yeah, that'd be good. Or chopping their hands off.
No, you chop their hands off. Just don't cut their head off because then they can't do anything.
It seems like so that's where you draw the line? You're fine with the hands?
Yeah, I'm fine with the hands. Maybe a foot.
Limp away? No. So by the way, so the whole thing with Trump too, because I don't know where this is going to go with Iran. I mean, I talked to our military guy earlier today, and he's like, we need to finish it, but in reality, what does finish look like? Well, we get them to capitulate. How are we going to do that? How do we get a group of people to capitulate that they know that if they stick around long enough, they're going to make this situation for the United States, especially President Trump, expensive when it comes to the midterms? It's going to make our lives expensive, which is going to piss everybody off. And eventually we go, we were promised this wasn't going to happen. That's a tough thing. So it's about survival. And you said it. I saw you text back to somebody. How do they win? Somebody said they can't win. And Bell's like, all they have to do is survive. And for Trump, because he's talked this game to the point where, when I was talking to my guy, Mike Lyons, a great guy, and Mike said, they've just done a horrible job of selling this to the American people. A group of people, the Lindsey Graham supporters, the Israel at all costs supporters, that group of people, they don't need to be sold, right? They're bought it, right? Because the whole thing is the quicker they do this, the quicker they can facilitate this, the quicker all these things happen, the quicker Jesus will come back, kind of thing. And for a younger generation, and my family, right? So I've got, for those of you guys know, I've got as kids, I've got millennial. No, I don't have a millennial. Yeah, I think I do have one millennial. I have Gen Zs and Gen Alphas. Those are my kids. For my brothers and sisters, I have Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and millennials. And the millennials, they never once brought up anything that had to do with Iran, being terrified of Iran. And everybody said, well, they're jihadi. They're going to go do all these things. Yeah, then why are we in that neighborhood? Right? Why are we over there? What's the use of us being over there? That's a fair question. Why are we there? Why are we there fighting? Well, we need to do it for Israel. Why do we need to do it for Israel? We give them $3.8 billion a year. They should be able to, plus. They should be able to figure some stuff out for themselves. And now we're trying to force everybody into the Abraham Accords. And the Abraham Accords are good, except for the fact that there's a lot of people out there that the countries themselves might be like, yeah, no problem working with, Israel, but we can't recognize them the way that you guys want. Because, our people. They don't want any of that. So it's an ugly situation. I wish we were out of it. We're not out of it now. Trump keeps telling everybody we're going to be out of it tonight. We're going to be out of it tomorrow. Could be now. Could be yesterday. It might be 6 weeks from now. I'm hoping it's 6 hours, but I couldn't tell you. I do know this tomorrow, and I'll talk to my people overnight, but tomorrow they're meeting at Camp David. And that's going to be, I think, what's the next step of where we head in this. Are we going to go hard? But what does hard look like? Because for all the same people out there, it's like, well, we need to do this, we need to do that. Well, if you think they're that suicidal, they're not giving up. And so threatening them, first of all, they don't buy it anymore, the threaten. And secondly, it's now become this bizarre war of words between on Twitter or Truth or whatever the hell it is and their version of it back and forth. And you got to decipher and read between the lines. Again, it's all confusing.
It's totally confusing. Last month I was in Pakistan and it's kind of the same language. It seemed like serious negotiations, but it went nowhere. And they said that we're very close. They're saying we're very close again.
But then Iran comes out and says we're nowhere near it. And it's about giving up the uranium. And they said they're not giving up any of the uranium. They could downgrade it there. They're willing to give it potentially to Russia or to China, but they're not giving it to us. Okay.
That's kind of the similar thing that we did under Obama when he basically said, get the chemical weapons out of the country or that's going to trigger something.
Yes.
And they chose to give it to Russia.
To Russia. They're not going to give it to us. They're not. And they're still a ways away, right? Because everybody hears, well, they're at 80%, they're at 90%, they're at 60%. It's 2 weeks. And just because you have it and you even get to the point where you can make it weapons grade, it takes a while for it to become where they could get it to make a weapon that would be usable. Like we joke about North Korea, right? Because they're such a hot mess. But North Korea, they can't figure out how to square the circle. They don't know how to fit it on top of the thing. We can't get it on the thing. So they can dirty bomb, maybe. And anyways, let's be real. My thought is if they really try to fire something off, they're going to miss. Right? They're going to get one nuclear weapon, North Korea, and they're going to fire it off and they're going to miss everything. Because all they end up doing usually is either firing it off and it lands either near their shore or nowhere near where they wanted it to. So I'm not worried about them. And I'm not worried about whether or not I saw Glenn Greenwald this week and he did one of those 20 plus ones. Have you seen one of those, Bell? Where you go, so it'll be you taking on 20 conservatives or 20 liberals, and they'll hit you with questions. And he's like, somebody said, what happens if they get a nuclear weapon? And and Glenn Greenwald's all, give them all nuclear weapons. They're all just going to stand there and stare at each other.
Yeah, make it a stalemate. Everybody that has shown up to this fight with a knife, we're passing out guns.
Everybody gets one. And it's like those dogs that bark hardcore at each other, right? They bark all day. And then the gate opens and they both stand there and like, oh, I didn't really want to fight you. I just want to make noise. Know this, no matter how much you think everybody hates each other, nobody hates India like Pakistan and Pakistan like India. And they both have nuclear weapons. And both of them, they're at the point now where they will slap fight each other before they ever think about pulling the trigger. And we were talking about Pakistan earlier. I was texting with somebody. Pakistan, by the way, let's not forget, who did they house out of curiosity?
A lot of Al-Qaeda, including Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
Right in, what was that, their third largest city?
Yeah.
And he was a couple blocks away from their military academy.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't know he was there.
No. When you go and look at where some of these areas are, the radical jihadis in Pakistan are as radical as anybody. And yet, Is anybody really worried about Pakistan? No. Is Iran? When you get a weapon, what it does is unfortunately, it gets you a seat at the big table because you're a nuclear power, and it allows you to throw a fit and get stuff.
Yeah, and you're much, much less likely to be
invaded or overthrown.
Yeah, because nobody wants to risk it.
No. And if you're honest with yourself, ask any military person, what would you do if you were running Iran? They'll all say the same thing. I'll try to get myself a nuclear weapon. Why? Because you guarantee survival. Because every time we've convinced somebody to give up their nukes or their opportunity to have nukes, what happens to them? Gaddafi, dead. Ukraine, absolutely invaded. I mean, we go on and on. That's what happens. So maybe let's give everybody stuff and we'll just come home and handle our business. Maybe. All right, coming up, Matt, I think he's here. Is he here today?
I'm pretty sure he is.
They're not going to be here Friday. They're racing cars Friday, I think. That's pretty cool. Did you see this weekend the Coca-Cola 600? Because they had Kyle Busch's family there, man, his wife, man, that was tough.
No, but they were having, is that the one they were having here? Because there's a race coming up at the Speedway.
That's this weekend.
Okay.
That one was the big 600, the NASCAR one. It was a tough watch. It was, man. She was. They said they're going to hold his son's. They're going to hold the number 8 for his son. So when his son comes up to race, they're going to give the number 8 to him. But he died of sepsis.
So nobody else is allowed to run that number until they choose to release it.
Yeah, and his son is going to be the one. And his son is already really, really good at racing. So, but man, it was a tough watch. And also at the Indy 500, the 18-minute mark, they did a lap where there was no noise from the crowd or anything. It was kind of it was
It's
really
sort of
cool
like a moment of silence.
Yeah, definitely was. All right, coming up, Matt, straight ahead, Chad Bencho, Super Talk 99.7.
Weekdays 3 to 7. And streaming on the Super Talk 99.7 WTN app.
AMAC, Association of Mature American Citizens, has some going on for you. It is the Saving the Nation boot camp for patriots like you guys out there. All right, it is taking place in New York. It is easy to go to. And by the way, if you don't know what AMAC is, it's something you guys sign up for. It's their alternative to ARP, right? It's conservative, it's libertarian, it is not wackadoo like ARP. And they've got this big thing they're doing, this boot camp. And if you have a chance, go check it out. It's really inexpensive, easy, zip up to New York. But they're going to have all kinds of things going on for 2 days. It's a lot of fun, June 19th to 20th. The American First Warehouse in Ronacoma, I think it is. I probably said that wrong. I apologize. But it is the conservative alternative to ARP. And the things that they get you the same deals and even better deals than what ARP gets you. And they do it from a conservative standpoint. So go check it out. It is happening. It is the All-American Boot Camp for America. They're doing this big time from AMAC, our friends over there. It is something I think you guys will enjoy. Get your tickets. Learn more at amac.us/bootcamp. That's amac.us/bootcamp. Seats are limited for several of the experiences. So if you have a chance, you go check out. They got AI, George Washington, music, all kinds of stuff. Check it out at amac.us/bootcamp. Wrapping it up on this Tuesday. Feels like a Monday, but it is a Tuesday. Matt, it's a Wednesday for you.
Yes, it's a Tuesday that feels like a Monday that is actually functionally a Wednesday because I'm not here on Friday.
Oh, my
The only day this week that is its normal day is Thursday.
That's it.
But Thursday becomes Friday, so really that's not even normal either.
That's not even normal.
So I might as well just take the rest of the week off, come back on Monday.
Well, and you're doing the Lord's work on Friday.
I am. I'm out talking to potential advertisers out of the racetrack. So.
Just in case.
That whole rant just left out Saturday and Sunday. They must feel awful.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday. I don't really remember Saturday and Sunday most weekends, Bell.
Why is that?
You're doing something, aren't you, usually?
Well, I go over to Bell's house.
Oh, yeah, tie a few on. Tie a few
go
on.
Go over to Bell's place and we bitch about how marijuana's not legal.
It's true. It's not. It's not legal.
That has been a subject before.
Maybe.
Once or twice.
So,
that sounds like Bell and I. We're not actually doing that. But it's good. Everybody have a good Memorial Day?
It was good. It was quiet. My wife, she's leaving next Monday, so we packed a lot this weekend. So they're going to go back and help Grandma for the next couple months in Arizona. She's a little forgetful, if you will. It's becoming a lot more forgetful. That's becoming maybe an issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
As
it does.
As it does. So we were packing the house before because we're moving end of September to a new place. So they're going to go out there and try to get everything buttoned up there and find out exactly what we need to do.
That's good.
So
so you're batching it for the most part? Yeah.
Me and the cat.
So I thought I was batching it this week, and then I got informed that my in-laws are coming into town tomorrow.
Which is not the same. It's not batching.
That is not the same thing as being a bachelor and walking around in your underpants.
Doing stuff.
Doing whatever you want.
That's right.
Whenever you want. No, it's not the same thing at all.
Oh,
it's not the same thing at all. So,
well, there you go then.
Who knew?
Where's
She's out in Cali.
She doing a TV show?
Like she's not, although maybe, I don't know. She's sending me. I don't know what to make of this because I'm like, you need to be careful out there, Erica's a dainty flower. I'm like, they're in San Francisco. They're going to drive up the coast to Seattle to go to a wedding this coming Saturday. I'm like, just be careful out there. Don't treat this all funny. This is not fun and games. Just don't talk to the homeless people. And she's sending me pictures of like homeless people. It's like, had a good chat with this guy.
What about
this
needle,
fella's nice.
The needles in the poo.
I told her I wanted the poo report. I told her she needed to download the poo app and
wait till she gets to Seattle because the last two times I've been both San Francisco and Seattle has been markedly worse. Yeah,
worse. Yeah. She sent me a photograph of Dr. Bing's cocktail lounge. She said, we're going here later for I said, please, for the love of God, don't go to Dr. Bing's
It's somebody's
cocktail
tent. Matt, straight ahead. You guys have a good one.